welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 15 of coloring Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Well, I should probably be calling it No Snow White and Only Four Dwarfs, but details. So the last time, we didn't do too much because there was a cat and distractions, and I think I was having way too much sugar, but I mean we did get stuff done. We darkened the black, we did the dwarf, we did the carry thingy, but I think we got started on, well, just a little bit of that. I think for now we had the roses planned. I'm not sure, but we had something planned, and you know, I saw already got started on the roses over there, so I might as well just do the rest on the wall and see what else we can get done. Now I have been looking at that bridge where I was whitening out lines, and I feel like, I don't know, it's still a bit too white, but I don't want to go too dark. So I'm just looking for something to fix that with. You know, like a brown that is not too dark. Now I could do that with either the burnt umber or the Van Dyke brown, and I'm thinking I'm going for Van Dyke brown because I don't know, I just love that color, the 176. Just see if I can go over those lines lightly, fix it a little bit. Now, yesterday I haven't been coloring, took some time to get some editing done, because I guess I was having way too much fun editing, coloring. I was having way too much fun coloring, and you know, the editing part is just, you know, it has to be done. I feel like, you know, I gotta get that sort of right. I'm not sure we'll make it any more watchable, but I don't know. I feel like just taking out parts where I sharpen pencils and look for stuff that I can't find, because a lot of that gets shortened, you know. Might look like I find my stuff rather quickly, but sometimes, I mean, I have been able to sneak a picture in, because in filming I said, you know, I'll give a sneak peek and, you know, show the mess that I have. So I did take a picture, and you know, the colors are kind of like spread, but not exactly in the most practical way. I could redo that, like put the colors sort of in order, but I don't do that. I could put the yellows next to the yellows, but you know, that wouldn't make sense for me either, because over here, like, the yellows go into, well, more or less the browns and then grays, and in the polys it goes, well, I do have them in order, but it basically goes from the yellows into the reds and into the pinks and into the purples and the blues. So I don't know, I guess there is a perfect way to put everything down, but I'm just too lazy to look for it at the moment. Alright, so I feel like I'm gonna just look if I have all the colors, because I do have a few lying around. I do feel like that my favorite, that permanent green, is going to be a part of what we are doing today, which is my very short one in the, what was it, crappy extender. Oh yeah, woo. I'm just going to not pull that apart again, because at some point it's just going to remain that way. Now I feel like that permanent green olive also has a place here. 167. Probably the pine green. I don't know what I have lying around, because I have 3 more. I just probably had them from last time. Yes, pine green 267 is definitely one of those. Chrome oxide. Well, I just like the darkest green I have, and then for some reason I have Hooker's green here as well. Which I could do, but on the other hand, it kind of, yeah, I'm just going to put that away. Well, my pencils are trying to escape again. I do feel like I need a few light ones as well, because this one is going to be incredible. But there's like those spots, and I don't know if I want to go into this or if I feel like I should be going into, yeah, I feel like that is a job for my Pablos. As you can see, you know, the greens just go a little bit lighter. So I'm just gonna probably go light lemon. So the 2-4-1, and I'm thinking the 2-3-1. And that should be it. I do have to say that, you know, those lines aren't exactly on there as much. I'm missing a lot, but I'll just see. I'll just start with the greens. I'll just start with those very light ones. And we will just see. Sharpening time. So yesterday, not really been coloring, not at all. I'm just gonna sort of start there. Because I mostly figured, you know, I want to get that editing out of the way as well. And luckily, you can upload and just kind of put a timer on there. So I just decided to do that. To kind of put it on a timer. So it's not like every other day a video will be released. I feel like I need a somewhat darker version even. Yeah. Oh, 15. Is that sharp? That is sharp. Good. Because, you know, I also want to kind of see how much I have already done, you know, in the editing department. Now, where is this? Where am I? This is that, and that is sort of this. And I'm on that, and I'm all over the place again. What? That is what you're used to by now. It's the way I color. But I just really wanted to sort of see how much I had done, and, you know, what still needs to be done, and if I could maybe upload them faster. I'm not necessarily sure that that's a smart thing, but alright, so this is kind of like over here. There's like a flower here, and I'll just make this kind of in that lighter range. Not sure why I actually grabbed that lighter one, because it's not really doing a whole lot for me. But yeah, so technically, I think I have up until part 9 uploaded. They're just, well, you can't watch them yet because they're on a timer. So as I am coloring this, I think I've just released part 6. I feel like I should hurry, but you know, I've already sort of set a pace, which might be good too. Alright, this has got to be those roses, so that light part is just missing, because it goes over and it's not there, so I guess I'll just have to figure out myself where it is. There's a little bit of thingy going basically all the way across the top of that, so. But yeah, I was getting really behind on the whole editing, so I felt like I should just get a bit of that done. So kind of throws me off on what I was coloring now. Like, where was I? But, you know, then I saw these roses and I was like, well, that's got to be it. That had to be the plan. Also, kind of noticed that time-wise, they are all so different from each other. Like, one is, I have a few that are 2 hours, and then I have a few that are like at 1. But, you know, I have mentioned that, you know, I prefer to just pick something to color. So, like, today I want to color this, that, and that, and just see how far I can get. Alright, I'm going to need to draw that in. because I'm missing so much right here. So it's like just a blurry line even. I mean, that line, that green kind of goes all the way up to there. So I'm just going to try, I mean, there's a little going down there, but we have that sparkle. So I'm just going to sort of make some bloppiness, because that's what it is, right? It's just bloppiness. There's like a, I think this will do. I don't have this anywhere else. I mean, there's a little bit over here, but that's not too bad. And then those roots kind of, yeah, I'm not sure I really, I don't know, do I mind? I mean, I don't. Alright, we'll just put that to the side. Can always grab it later. Just kind of noticing because it was over here and I was like, wait, there should be something underneath. So yeah, yesterday editing, I actually saved it this morning because that just takes so much. It's like cooking up my phone. It's no good. It's just weird. Alright, rows there. Is that, am I still? Yes, we can still follow what I'm pointing at, sort of. Because we have that shovel over there, and we have that line over there. So, I don't know. This has got to be light, I think. Thought coloring the roses was going to be a lot of fun, but I feel like this is going to stress me out more than anything so far. Alright, I do feel like I'm kind of done with these colors. Alright, so I'm going to start with that, well, what was it called? Permanent green. I mean, I could not really read it, because I remember when I was doing the trees that it kind of became darker than I wanted it to be. I don't know what part it was, but I'm just done editing it. So I feel like I should just really figure out where I want this color to be, because it can be rather dominant. Alright, so I'm seeing something over here, which is right there. I don't know. Let me just double check before I start blopping it down. Because it's like kind of dark, but not dark. So basically that color. So that's right here. So it's kind of like good that I'm watching my own recording. I mean, I really, really do. There's a lot of just taking things out. Because, you know, there's like noise or... And I have noticed often, you know, my mic does make a weird sound. And when it does, I mean, I'm not noticing it while I'm recording. Which last time I talked about it, actually while I was talking about it, my mic was doing that. So that was not on purpose, because I really cannot hear what my mic is doing. Alright, and a little bit over here, I feel. It's like I don't want to overuse this color, because, I mean, it seems like a happy kind of green, but not too happy either. Alright, so that is at the bottom. I'm just going to add that just at the top, because, you know, there's got to be light. And it's a rather dark and light area at the same time. Yeah. I'm not sure how that is. That must be the shine of all these diamonds. I was also kind of looking at, you know, me talking about not feeling well. That is still going on. It's not a temporary thing. I don't feel too shaky this time. Seems like my vision is sometimes kind of off, but alright, I'm gonna go into that, what is it, chrome oxide, which is that really dark green, because I feel like I should just start by adding some shadows here and there, or at least some dark patches, or what are we gonna call them? So I'm kind of thinking, like, what do I want to do after this one? Because I'm not really feeling that next page. I mean, it's not like I don't want to color it. It's just, I feel like there's just pages that I'd rather color. And again, one of the reasons I got this book, because this one had Winnie the Pooh and the others didn't. So I might be going into Winnie the Pooh after this. I mean, I haven't decided. There's a Beauty and the Beast in here too, which is rather lovely. Well, more than one. Just I can't decide what to color next. But you know, editing, and the problem with editing is that you know you can see yourself color. I could see this page, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to do this and that and that. So you know, there's only so much editing I could do before I really had to get back to coloring. And I'm still debating whether or not I should not increase the upload speed, but I guess you know, if you're watching this part, then well, by the time this part is watchable, probably would have already made up my mind. So either this one came out 2 days after another, or maybe it came out together with another. I don't know. Like I feel it could go both ways. Or I could just, you know, wait for a bit, you know, keep that every other day thing going, just to see how big the pile up is going to be. And then maybe the last few can be uploaded a bit quicker, or released quicker. Because I have to say, I do like the fact that you can just upload and just leave them there. I don't know, what is that? Is that a rose? Is that is like green blob. Yes, there we are, blob. The word is blob. Yeah, it always is. I feel like it's just someone in the line work was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm done. I'm just not again. I don't want to. So I guess this might just be one of the more complex pages in the book. I mean, I could flip through it like right now, just to see if I could have started at an easier point. But I'm already decided that I could have. Pine green, which is still kind of dark, but not that dark. It's like my happy dark. Happy dark? Is that a thing? Well, I was like actually editing the one when I was using the phthalo blue. It's just why the spelling of that is just why. I don't know. It's just so me mispronouncing that the whole time is not because I don't know that it's phthalo blue. I just love going phthalo. It's just my thing. It's my thing. Wow. So I should avoid using that because I'm going to scare everyone off. I feel like I also need that Yuki green, olive green, yellowish 173. Not because it's necessarily in there, but I feel like it's like too green, and that is well, it is green, of course, but this kind of gives it a different kind of feel. This is where I noticed that, you know, I've been coloring flowers and stuff before, so I kind of go my own way. Yeah. Up until now, I feel like it's turning out okay. Mm-hmm. I have been like sharing a little bit on Facebook and on Instagram. It's like I place different pictures in different groups, so they all have a different part of the progress. I feel like that's just more fun. But you know, you might be here because you've seen it on Facebook. Because you know, people were asking how I do it. I noticed that, you know, with this being part 15 and an episode. Can I call it an episode? Yeah, I'm just gonna call it that. But it's gonna be a minimum of 1 hour, and some are even 2. So time-wise, I am well in by now. And on the one hand, kind of grumpy. Like, why am I still coloring this? But I don't think there's like enough people who are doing this to really kind of compare to. So like I feel like I'm taking forever, but I haven't really, I don't think I've seen another one of these being done like completely. So just like real time, the whole thing. I do edit things out too, like sharpening and sometimes picking the colors. I usually do that up front. Just every now and then, I just feel like, yes, that is part of the process. So for this time, I kind of just decided to, I left it in this time. Now, I think my neighbors do have a party. I don't know if you can hear that. I mean, I hope not. Because that would just be, well, that would mean that it's going to be there the entire episode. And that also means it's going to be there for the next, but I don't have anything fancy to edit that out. Just using my phone and some free programs, so far so good, I think. A little low budget coloring chat. I'm gonna just have to buy a thing or two. But if you're creative, you can avoid that too. Like, you know, my phone is not just floating in the air. It's actually in a light stand thing. I mean, I bought like those studio lightings with those, like call them movable arm things. I figured that would be like the best, because you know you can use it for other things and elsewhere. And I actually removed one of the lights from the stand, put that on a tripod, and got that clip thing for my phone off the tripod and onto that light stand or arm, or whatever you want to call it. So it's actually above what I'm doing. Now, but it does look floral. I do remember mentioning something about trying to zoom in. You know, in order to do that, I kind of have to not move the book. And I don't know if I can remember that. There might be a point where there's like 2 angles, but it's a small room. So I'm basically coloring in a closet. It's really not, but it's just a very small room, so it's not ideal. But all I really do here is sit and color. So that's good enough for that. I think it's like 2 by 3 meters tops. So. There's just not a lot of room to put stuff, which is why I need like table tripods, and because I just can't put it anywhere on the floor, because that will quickly mean that basically I'm putting things outside the room. And I do have like another room I could move everything to, but I don't know. I'm just doing small scale. Just got started. You know, if it picks up, then yeah, maybe. But for now, it's just kind of like, let's see where this goes. feel like, the interest for these videos is actually growing, which I can sort of understand why it wasn't there yet. I mean, if I find a channel that is coloring this, I want to see, like, where are you now? Where are we coloring to? So, and when you just have, like, part 1 up, and you haven't really done anything else with colored pencils, I guess I can understand why people are kind of, like, not interested yet. But we'll get there. I mean, the end result is going to be good. I mean, we've already got all of that. It doesn't look bad. Actually, I think I'm to the point where I'm willing to admit it's not horrible. But that again comes to a thing that I have mentioned in previous coloring chat. I might have mentioned it here too. I mean, I'm not sure yet. In editing, I'll find out. Because I do repeat myself a lot. So chances are that I have mentioned it while coloring this too. But you all have this picture in your head of what you want it to be. And while I do think that this thing is turning out rather nicely, a lot of things are not the way I wanted them to be. So to me, there's just so many things wrong with this. But I have, like I mentioned, posted, I think, actually what we had to start with for this one. So that would be the end result after Color and Chat Part 14. And people are actually wondering how I did it, and the responses are just, I'm getting great feedback, so I do feel like, maybe people would be curious to see how I did it. Sometimes I am too, because when I say I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, I'm just doing it, that really is what I'm doing. Kind of still fiddling. I just can't be bothered with finding out how it has to be done. It's just, I'll keep coloring and hope that it kind of ends up the way I had it in my mind. And if it doesn't end up like that, then I'll just fiddle some more. I gotta make sure that it looks less like just one flow of green going through that. I'm just gonna be bold with this one and do some thingamies. I'm gonna add thingamies. Thingies. So that it kind of looks more organic. It's kind of hard because usually I would probably have colored that wall first, but I felt like doing something fun like the roses. And I'm not sure if they're fun. I mean, they are fiddly and they are trouble. These roses are going to be nothing but trouble. But that's the fun part, I guess. If they do turn out looking like the fun roses that they are supposed to be, then yeah, yay. Also notice that the lights are kind of not helping, so I guess there's a good part about me doing a lot of editing lately. Probably because, I'm actually, like, I've moved a bit. That might be it, I don't know, but pretty sure that if I turn it, you can already see the difference. I feel like I should be adding something that'll make it look floral, and I feel like maybe the dark indigo could help. Maybe not too hard, because right now I created sort of blocky lines, so I might as well just trace around those. See if I can add something of a pattern. These lights are just being, that is better. I mean, it is for me anyways. And you can see how it creates more shadow, but well, you are here to get some sort of end result, right? I cannot see what I'm doing. the fact that I don't know what I'm doing is bad enough already. I could at least see what I'm doing. That would be awesome-ish. Also, my head is like very close to the camera. You know, not the ideal setup here. Again, small room. So I think that kind of not helps, but well, we'll make do. I feel like I should get that really bold, permanent green. I think the name was 266. Because, you know, it's another short one. I mean, I have a new one, but I feel kind of silly just grabbing new pencils just for the sake of the color and chat. I do kind of feel like this is sort of okay-ish. I mean, his is more, there's more gloppiness in his, and it's like a less bright green, but I don't know, maybe I could create like bloppiness. We are not getting rid of the word blob, so we might as well just keep it. Just grab a few random greens and create that bloppiness. I mean, I'm not sure if I really care. There just has to be some kind of a structure, texture thing going through here so that it kind of looks like it makes sense. If that makes sense. Well, I mean, I feel like it does kind of interrupt that smoothness of the green. If I just go over that with the, not the pine, the chrome one. Kind of circly over that, see what that does. See, this is the part where I'm just fiddling with it and hoping that it's going to be better, but it might just be making it worse. Because again, not sure what I'm doing. And the paper is already at that point where it goes, could you please stop? Please stop it. I cannot take it anymore. So, you know. Alright, I feel like I should just stop. Alright, now this wasn't done yet either. So this is still that chrome. I'm going to go in that with that pine. Oh yeah. It's like doubting myself there for a second. Keep your headbutt in the camera. Because, you know, someone's got to do it. Now, I feel like I could go straight into, well, the floral arrangement, but no, I'm not going to. I'm just going to stick to, alright, I'm just going to add that blue to where I think the shadow is. Not that there really is a shadow, but I feel like I've gone a bit bright on the green. So, you know, this kind of counters that, I hope. She said that she knows what she's doing. But in the end, I think that is going to be better than what it was. Well, it looks kind of weird. I feel like once everything else is sort of colored, it'll look, well, hopefully less weird. Could just make it everything worse. Grabbing, I think this is not the 170, but the 168, which should be slightly darker than the 170. Because I just feel like there's some light in there. So I'll just start with that, because there's so much going on. Where I magically reappear with an entirely different point on my pencil, because, you know, Sharpening is boring. This is supposed to be a rose, I think. I mean, that certainly looks like one. But then underneath, I'm just gonna make this green because it's just easier to make it green than to try and make it look like a rose. So this is just being lazy. I guess that's choices too. I mean, I don't think I can really make it look like a good rose. So therefore, I feel it's just safer to color it green because, I mean, that will look good too. Doesn't look like this had to be a rose. Alright, so we have that twiggy thingy going on in there, and we have some green stuff over here as well, which is slightly lighter. This is why I'm sticking to that pine green. Into the permanent olive, what is it? Green off, permanent green off. No olive, it's permanent green. They'll go yucky at some point. Alright, see, that does look better now. I'm not sure about that little part. Tools, that would be... Yeah, I'm just gonna... Because, I don't know, it would look good if it's just... Car... It would look good if it's just like this, I think. So the weekend is once again upon us. So more parties, more traffic, especially late traffic. And that does look kind of good. So I'm just going to do the same over here because this was a lighter area too. Well, somewhat lighter anyways. I've also been catching up on Netflix a bit. Because, you know, with all the coloring and editing, just I have all these series just piling up. Alright, now that little side could be, it could be a rose. I mean, it's, huh. And we got, it looks like so many roses, but there really aren't that many in there. So we're just going to make that this color. For some reason, I feel like I'm going to pull this one in now. No real idea why, but I'm doing it anyways. It would kind of make it look different here and there. Go over that with the pine green. It's just a lot of pile this on top of that, on top of that, on top of more. Permanent green olive, although I think it's the only olive again, so I might as well just call it the olive. This is not an olive, this is earth green yellowish. Alright, so we have that little bit over there which could definitely be, well, red, as in a rose. This part, and I feel like it would be better if I just give that bright green over there. A little bit of the olive over here. And back to the pine. While the olive is trying to escape. The pencils are done with me. They're like, oh yeah, I'm out of here. Alright, now, I feel, especially if we kind of take the lighting different, I feel like it does look good. Now, the roses over there, I'm just going to leave be for now, because they do seem like brighter and everything, so I'm just going to choose to ignore them for now and just stick to this a little bit. Not that normally I'm not all over the place with my coloring, but you know, I'm trying to like, I'm kind of okay with the fact that this might have been like This is like season 1 for me. We're gonna have so many episodes in this that you just, it's not even a color and chat anymore. It's like you can just binge this by the time it's done. This is so much. But if the end result is good, then I don't think I mind. I mean, the process can be messy. It's the result that we're going for. It's like I have done a few just with the markers, where markers are not necessarily my thing yet. I don't hate them. It's just I was used to pencils, so that's why I kind of returned to it. But it is different because it takes a lot longer. So like with the markers, I think it's quicker. You switch your colors a lot quicker. And here you're just on the same subject for a long time. Which can be fun too, just taking your time. There's pros and cons to both ways, I think. But coloring chat-wise, it's just so weird. So I'm still getting used to it. Like actually naming the colors, I totally forgot that. I think at some point. I'm sort of doing that now too. I'm kind of hoping you can see it. Nor do I really want to be like too much of this is how you should, because you shouldn't. I feel like this needs something. As does it over there. It's kind of like a weirdness. This really needed it though. Let's just go with that indigo. And back to the pine. Basically that chrome one I'll put to the side for now. And that makes the other two easy. So now I'm over there. I'm not sure if I can actually... Oh, I can't get it all on the screen because I can just move to the right. I haven't moved my camera stand thingy. Normally I kind of make it so the book kind of can go underneath it. Well, that still happens. So as long as everything is in the screen. Now there is like that brightness over there, which is here. Yes, I'm just going to add that first, because this is a very screamy green, which is kind of how I feel like I messed up the tree a little bit with that screaminess, but I just wanted it to be different. Alright, so this is just a very weird, debatable area, but this is definitely, this is that dark olive green yellowish, because I feel like this is slightly off on the colors. Now this is clearly a rose. This has got to be rose petal. Alright, now just to go over that with a little bit of pine over here. I feel like this needs a little bit of green over here just a little bit, because otherwise it just feels, I don't know, weird. It just felt like that needed green. Alright, I'm just going to call this the light olive. It's not the apparently I'm using 2 olive colors, and this is the lighter one out of the 2, so, but I feel like I'm kind of like learning how to maybe plan these things better, although I'm not much of a planner. I just want there to be chaos, because it's how I color anyways. It's how I do things normally. Alright, star, star, star then. So this is going to be green too. I'm just... Why? Why does it have to be so chaotically weird? Chaotically weird? Is that a thing? Alright, I'm just going to grab that dark one. Not that it's really in there in the reference, but I feel like it would be better to create a little bit of shadow shadiness. Some shady business here. Into that pine. No, I keep reading that German part as well. For some reason I have to stop myself from pronouncing it that way too. And that will really be fun. Yeah, we're not doing that. Actually looking at it like, should I? Someone might be yelling at the screen now. Yes, do it, do it. You must. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not. Am I fine one? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I don't want to be pronouncing green in German. That's also something I noticed on like YouTube, so like language-wise, I mean, I am claiming that I haven't seen videos of pencils rolling around of like this exact page, like being completely colored, because I have seen parts of it being colored, and I have seen a few on like Instagram, but I haven't really seen the entire process, so it makes it kind of like, am I really that slow? Why are you stopping there, pencil? This is, well, okay. Like that part where I can't be bothered to just clean up the mess. I have no idea what the next one is going to be, but I have noticed that for these, there's just not a lot online. Some. It's like, then again, you know, out of all the coloring books in the world, there's quite a few. And these just take up a lot of time, so I guess that might be a reason to avoid them for YouTube. I don't know. I thought it would be fun to give it a go for like my first coloring chat with pencils. Because I'm full of great ideas. What could possibly go wrong besides everything? I mean, with the markers, I did 3 hours for 1 page. Alright, back to that blue. I really need something dark, because I'm going to make this dark. I'm not sure what to do with that thing, but it's probably going to end up red. I'm not sure. Glad I made some room on my phone though, because, you know, while editing, I'm also moving files to an external drive. Oh my god, that's a lot of drawing, isn't it? Right here, I mean, so there's a shiny thing, just sort of, there's like all green underneath there, and then it kind of goes down right here. Is that next to that? Because there's that blob. So, I don't know, that feels good enough. So that's that flower. I'm just gonna name it that, and we'll just sort of make it smaller. I'll just make it smaller. I feel like I keep drawing in this. It's 1 hour and I've only done the green. Well, not an hour yet. and after editing it's probably going to be even less. I should probably just time how much time I actually spend on sharpening points and stuff. That's ridiculous. Well, every now and then, you know, I do kind of decide to just tidy up off screen as well, which, you know, I'll just cut out. So it's not like I don't tidy up in between things. It's just, I don't know, I feel like that's like irrelevant or something. It's part of it. I doubt anyone is here to figure out how many times I sharpen my pencils, and although that would be interesting, but I'm not keeping track of that. I feel like every now and then, you know, pencils get into arguments with sharpeners. Might just be the way I use them too. Because, you know, I have had, I don't know, I have been editing a part where I could just remove the sound of the sharpener. And I actually tried to move the sharpener rather than the pencil, and I don't like that. Might be better for your pencil, but it's just, this is one of those things that is not for me. Alright, I'll just do this really lightly because it's fun, and then just shimmer right there. So I already concluded that the green kind of continues underneath there anyways. So. Can we have more green? Because what is this? What is that? I mean, that is that, but what is that? I mean, that I get, that's that, but what? It's like his arm is right there, and then there's that rosy thingy, which is that. But what? I mean, is that? Yeah, I think it's that. I just headbutted the damn thing again. Alright, so brush, 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 brush. So I feel like that's everything for the roses on that side. Oh, wow. Alright, so we're going to do this first, and then we're going to go into the actual roses, because you want to get some roses done. I, again, don't want to spend forever here. Alright, so that is roses. And then there's basically nothing. A whole lot of nothing. I mean, I could just try, make this part of it. No, I'm not doing that. Oh, there's so much drawing involved. Actually, coming to the point where I'm a bit annoyed by it, because I just want to color these roses. I don't want to be drawing them myself. It's a very DIY coloring book, this. Yeah, I guess it's okay that every now and then you have to sort of add things yourself, but I feel like on this page they went a bit overboard with forgetting things. So those are just going to be roses. They are not in the reference, but they do kind of look like it, and I don't know. Still kind of debating whether or not I'm going to actually follow through on that. Should I actually ignore? No rosy there, so dark olive with the light olive, because, you know, I gotta name them colors. So I am actually getting better-ish at that. It's also because you use them more and more, you just kind of memorize it. Alright, so, I mean, that is, I mean, yes, that is that. Is that that? That is that. Yes, so what is that? That is nothing. That's right above there. That's that light stuff. Let's just make it light, I guess. I picked the other ones for that, but I already put those away. And what is that? That's red too. Alright, so we now are going into the red, I think. What is that? Right next to that. So that's got to be that light blob. Because the word blob will not go away. Probably come up with suggestions, like different versions of that. Now this pencil, it seems a bit like a softer one, so I keep sharpening it. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be very helpful. This is going to break. This is a needle. We'll find out. And I guess if you know that they're very fragile like that, you can kind of adjust. Ooh, crumbly coming off. That wasn't a break, that was like something crumbled off. Alright, I do feel like I have most of it done. So I'm just going to grab some reds, which is I just grabbed all the wrong ones. Although this might be needed. Is it? It's all very red. I'm going to get that. What is it? What are you named, really? Caput mortum? I don't know. I mean, this one is aput mortum, so. It has that very, very, very dark one, which I usually use for like the extreme dark bits. That's about it. And then we need that, well, dark red, because we already have that card sort of in the thingamie. This is going to be one of those days. It's in the thingamie. Yeah, very bright. I'm thinking going for that 223 deep red. Is that this? That is this. And then probably the scarlet red. The 118, which I cannot find. Scarlet red. No, that's 4 colors. Should suffice. Yes. Because over here, I feel like there's some sort of dark patches in those roses. A little bit, not much, just, I don't know, I'm not sure coloring roses is really my forte. Let me look, see. Just see if I hate this extender. It doesn't seem like I can pull this apart as easily, so that's good. And I absolutely hate these extenders, so. And I can work with them, so I guess that's good. As I mentioned, I spent less than €5 on 20 of them, so looking at it that way, they are pretty awesome. And I feel like I shouldn't try to be too nitpicky on these roses, because in the reference they're kind of floppy. Wow, this is one of those words. But I do have to say a lot of things on this page. They definitely look like blobs. Find that comment section and put in some good suggestions, really. Because I really feel like blob might just be the ultimate word to describe half of the, well, blobs on the page. Yeah, they are looking good. I do feel like I've gotten better at like the plan. I mean, time-wise, I started about that earlier, like how the time of all these coloring chats is so different, but it's kind of like I will point at something, like I want to do that, and then at least finish it. So far, I think my longest was 2 hours. I do have to say that sometimes I just really get into the coloring. I forget that, people have lives to get back to. Yeah, you can't just pause it. That's a thing. Well, these roses are starting to look like roses. I guess they already kind of did because of the line work. I just love roses. It's kind of like, if you do those right, then everything else doesn't matter. Just gonna mess up the entire page. Just make sure the roses are okay. Yeah, that's gotta be weird. Just mess it all up. Just focus on your roses. Ignore everything else. Just make sure your roses are on point. Yeah, it's gotta be the weirdest advice ever. Yeah, I would probably still stick with my go for balance kind of tip. Because, everything background went south as soon as I got to the castle and the sky. So basically when I started the background. Because, that beam, I think, turned out rather nice. I'm forgetting about that little budget thing. Budget thing? But yeah, you kind of, if you go off, then just don't try to immediately correct it, because then it's just going to show. So, if one of these roses somehow ends up completely different, then I might want to just continue that difference into the rest. Otherwise, it's just going to look like I have one weird rose, if you catch my drift. Whereas, if I were to just kind of adjust everything else, then it looks as though it's one big unity. And then, it doesn't look like it's a mistake anymore. And it probably does depend on the page as well. But I feel like, the one thing that'll hold the page together is that unity. Unity. Like a life lesson and a coloring lesson. Shit just needs to be hand in hand and not battling each other. Because that's kind of what you get when you're trying to create that instant fix on the page. And you kind of have that one rose, so to speak, that is different, kind of like battling the rest because it's different. You're going to make it stand out. I personally, I don't like that one rose standing out, which is not a metaphor for people or something, because you want to stand out, you go do that. Just don't be a rose and stand out, and not on here, because then we cannot be friends. We cannot be. If you are a rose on this page and standing out, then seriously. How did I get to... Well, I should stop asking, how did I get to something weird? Because, it's me talking. What were you expecting? Something a little less weird? But I have noticed that I probably should not be eating a whole lot of candy before I started coloring chat. Because that was a special kind of coloring. Didn't necessarily get more done. Ramblings were just wow. I was actually looking at a paper that I have lying around, kind of like, I sometimes write down things I want to talk about, which could be because something happened in the last episode that I wanted to talk about. And for one episode, I actually wrote down monkey and cat. Like, what? So, yeah, eventful, apparently. And for right now, it's actually says stick to coloring. Learn my lesson, stick to coloring. Just stop being all over the place. Even when I'm coloring, I am all over the place. But kind of like when you feel like there's a silence, you want to fill it, because it's color in chat and not color in silence. It's not. So you kind of feel like you have to say something, and you just start yapping, basically. I do. I think I was giving health advice at some point. I think, what? That's not what people can watch the color in chat for. You're not here for health advice. Next thing you know, we're going to do sports or something. Like, what the perfect exercise. Yeah. In my case, that would be color upstairs. Therefore, you know, because I don't really eat or drink while I'm coloring, just to prevent it from spilling over my page. So I don't do food or drink here. So my perfect exercise is just, well, at some point I have to drink. I do have like some water here, mostly because of the color in chat, because you're chatting a lot. So, you know, I'm kind of, I mean, my mic is a wired one, so I can't just walk away, because that would create, well, I could, but yeah, that's just going to create a lot of trouble in editing. So I do have stuff to drink, but that's it. So my perfect exercise is just color, basically. Whenever I'm hungry or thirsty or, I don't know, whatever, I have to walk. Alright, so I'm just going to bring that up. They look good-ish. It's not like one solid blob of red, although I think you could get away with it, because his is kind of solid blobbiness. I haven't even used that many colors today. I'm not a very colorful person. Not today. Well, I could be asking for like, what page do you want to see next? I should probably do that on my socials, because by the time I'm uploading this, I might already be done. I don't know. This is part 15. So I'm just looking at how everything is going. It's not, I mean, it's slow, but I like the result, which is what I'm going for. I'm going for the result in the coloring. And you know, people have asked me how I do it. Well, in forever. Because I think that's like a mistake some people make. You know, they want to have this great result, but they do want to do it in 30 minutes. And I think by now, I might already be at 20. I mean, I'm not exactly timing it, but I've seen in my uploads that some of them are 2 hours. Most of them are around 1.5. So, yeah, if this is part 15, then I think it's safe to say that I have well over 20 hours in here. That's okay, it looks good. You know, you can't really compare. I mean, like the next page, that's a lot of water. So, basically you'll be using the same couple of colors, well, a lot. Which I guess in here was sort of the case, but I mean, in those mountains coming down, there's like a change. Because we went from like foggy to less foggy, and then we have a dwarf, and now we have roses, and have wooden beams that frustrated me completely. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Can't really compare different pages to each other. And this might take forever, and maybe the next page won't. But that depends on what I'll be doing next. Although I saw a very lovely one from Beauty and the Beast, so I guess you could still kind of drop in the comments what you would like to see. You might be lucky. I might actually be started on that by the time this one uploads. Could be, or could be for like the next. I mean, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of questions about these pages, and well, I mean, I do take my time, so I guess that would make it easier for everyone to follow. I think I mentioned it too, I think part 9 or something, that, you know, I do want to maybe do like live ones. So that way people could just ask away. I mean, again, you know, my channel is kind of new, so I don't really have an audience yet. Which is why I felt safe enough to start doing these, because I figure no one will be watching them. I don't know. You do always hope like the next one is going to be better. Alright, so what is that? Is that going to be part of the rose, or what am I going to do with it? I'm just going to make that part of the rose. Because I feel like this area is going to be dark enough already. I think doing these live would be easier, because, you know, you can also ask people, like, what do you want? What shall we do? Should I stop? Should I disconnect my mic? Alright. Alright, so time-wise, this was kind of good. I mean, there's still these roses in front, but those are definitely, like, different. They are bigger. So I feel like I'm just going to do that little bundle over there by Mr. Grumpy. And I'm mostly going to need that light one. Just start with that. Start dropping that light one. And yeah, that's about it, really. Yeah, I'm just going to start with that light one. Maybe I should start with the red here, but I'm not sure. Well. And that's rose. So just grab that dark olive, which is not its name, but olive green yellowish. But from what I was using earlier, it was the darker of the two with olive in the name. So it's just that is a rose, but this is not, and this is not. This is just trying to find out what is a rose and what isn't. And his beard kind of continues, but it doesn't in the line art, so which probably explains why there's a thing or two missing. So this will be that light olive, which is permanent green olive, with that killer point. It's a good thing I see that straight away, so I can kind of adjust how I'm using it. Because if I press down too hard on it, then, you know, I'll be sharpening it again, and again, and again. Well, I can get away with that. Still, sometimes it breaks and it's not that bad. Let's just look for all these points that are launching around here. Should probably be wearing safety glasses or something in a helmet. Alright, so this is not part of that either. But I do feel like this one kind of goes, yeah, some would call it numb, dull, blunt, but I lose a point on this one rather quick compared to some of the other colors. But anyway, that's just the way I think it is. Could just be that I have a weird pencil. Although there's probably a reason why this one's already going into rather short. Because I know I have used it a lot. It's like a great color to just sort of put over things, especially like with these roses. I feel like this really works. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be using it, of course, but this is such a versatile color, and you can kind of add it anywhere, everywhere. I'm not sure if it's my all-time favorite green. I have mentioned I do love that permanent one as well, because that is so shouty. But I do have to say, like, in this picture, I don't really need shouty green, which is weird, because when I was looking at it the first time, I thought I was definitely going to need that. And here I am, just really not needing it. Kind of fun how that works. You're looking at a page and like, oh, these are all these fun and shouty colors, and turns out it's really not. I'm never quite sure what to do with too bright colors. Looking at the time, I'm feeling like I'm actually not just talking about coloring as well. Although I had one which actually ended up being a 2-hour thing where it just went from 1 point something something minutes, like in the 50s, and then rather going to 2 point something something minutes, it went back to 1 again. So I was kind of confused there. I was like, wait, I thought we were at 2 hours. Oh well, I must have seen it wrong. I do have a clock, but it's still in a drawer because that's where I put it in part 2. Because, you know, things happen. Alright, pine. Back to the pine. I feel like this side should have a different flavor of green. Yeah, I feel like that. I mean, it's not the right word. I get that, but yeah, it works though. It works. Alright. That's a rose for sure. Because I see that on that reference right there. I was like, wow, how much trouble am I going to go through to get this on the screen? Just look at your own reference. There's a block there. If you don't have a reference, then, well, it's really time to get this book. It's a fun book. Go color it. Go buy books. Go do that. I am not sponsored, so I can just yell random things. I'll be doing that anyways. It'd be nice to be sponsored though. Sometimes I'm just looking at other people's channel and they're like, so they sent me this book. I'm like, I want that. Although, I mean, I already have the book, so I mean, well, that's not helping. Could do new pencils. I always want more pencils. Well, I don't always want more pencils. It's like, I want like a certain combination that I feel that I need. What is going on down there? Is that just like the rose is like melting and just dripping down? Kind of looks like it's just blopping down. We'll just make some blobs, because blob is still a word. Yes, well, alright, blobby here. It's kind of ridiculous. Like you have a reference and still you can't figure out what things are. That's just, huh. I figured it would be kind of easy, you know, because you have someone telling you what to do. But, you know, that someone is Thomas Kinkade, so that's not really easy. Fine, you go over there. You stay there. I don't need you. I mean, I do, but not now. No, just stay. Do not follow your brother or sister or thing. Your sibling thing. What? Judging by the babble, it's like time to take a break, but you know. Just one at a time, Dodo. One. Just one. It's gotta be like so recognizable. Struggling on everything. Alright, so there's blobby things over here too, but I'm so done drawing things, really. I mean, that is a gem. I'm just gonna do these first and see if I'm gonna be drawing anything. Might be. Too often have I said I'm not gonna draw that in, and then I ended up drawing. So I don't know if cartoon drawing is really my thing. This is kind of cartoony, so. Is that blue? What kind of blue? Alright, I just want to see what it is. There was that other page. Where is it? Because I now need something to tell me why that's blue. That's it. Is that this one? I mean, so you have roses, and it's like that. This was a path, and the blue is right here. There's something. Yeah, there's. This doesn't help. Alright, so I'm just not making it blue. How about that? So I said I was not going to use that off again, that darker one, but I need it. So I'm going to go for Chromium Green Opaque. Not because it makes a whole lot of sense, but because I set to the under pencil that I don't need it anymore, so I'm not going to use it. I set it, so I'm just going to avoid it. This makes no sense, does it? Welcome to my channel. So, how to scare people. So before I scare you more, is this maybe the good time to just remind people to maybe like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and still looking for some feedback. So there's room for that. Just be gentle. Alright, back to pine. Do you feel like this might be a nice and short one compared to the 2-hour ones that I've edited lately? This is great in editing too. It doesn't take as much time. I mean, if you have been watching all my videos, then you may have noticed that, a lot of things do get taken out. And sometimes I'm just having too much fun with editing. I think I added sparkles too, and weird sound effects way over the top. It's like, you didn't have to go all out on that. And I'm like, I knew, but I had to anyways. Because, I don't know. Well, I did say I was going to be me, because I feel like long term is just easier to remember. I don't have to remember what kind of character I came up with to color, because it's really just me, which might have some people worried right now, but I mean, you're here for the end result, right? And I'm confident enough to say that right now. I mean, just look at it. It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. So, if you want to know how to color this, I mean, I feel like I'm doing okay. I haven't had the urge to throw the book through the room yet. Alright, and back to the reds. Are these all the reds that I'm going to use? Because I feel like, yeah, I'm going to go for that 169, the really dark one, because we had that little bloppy over here. No, I'm just blopping it in. Just blop it in there. Make it dark. That might just be, yeah, I feel like that is going to be much. And I have been known to change my mind. Just like usually does kind of pay to stick to the end. Not because I do that on purpose, but I see something like, ooh. Like, that castle background. where all of a sudden I decided, you know what, I can do more over there. And then I did. So, you know, if you kind of tune out too soon, then, well, there's a big chance that in the last 5 seconds I'm still doing something. Just because I'm chaotic. I mean, if this is like your first time here, then seriously, you should have started at part 1, probably. And, you know, if you're not exactly new here, then, well, you already know that I'm all over the place. What thing? I could change that, but I do feel that might just be very recognizable, because I was always wondering, like, am I the only one who does this, or... I mean, for me, of course, I kind of have to plan what I'm coloring. So, like, I see something, and I will be coloring it today. Just not in this part, so that's why I kind of have to... So then I'm looking at the timer, I'm kind of debating, like, can I, can't I? Well, normally you just, you know, you color, you don't have to time it, you don't have to put a timer. I also noticed that, you know, if I'm making too long, then my phone is kind of having problems saving. Because, you know, 2 hours of video is a bit much, apparently. But, you know, on the other hand, I do feel like, you know, I pick an item, like I want to color this or that, and then, you know, that's what I'll be coloring, because that's what I said. I'm pretty sure I did prep work on that, because that is what I was going to do, but I don't know, I felt like doing roses, so... I do feel like those crates and that is probably going to be for the next part, though. You know, have a little bit of pathy thingy going behind there, but I don't know, that might get added to everything else, but I feel like Grumpy needs some color. And, you know, then from Grumpy I can work to that. Or I can work from that to Grumpy, either way. I do feel like these roses are, well, they are rather nice. I didn't pick this one over here, so I'm just going to add that on those parts as well. Alright, so now we have pretty much all the roses done, except for the ones at the bottom right. Now again, you know, because the lighting is terrible, but I do feel, like, you know, we've done everything. I mean, there was that bloppy thing over there that I couldn't really find here. I mean, it's gotta be that, well, that brownish kind of gem. But yeah, I feel like these roses turned out rather okay. This is like the point where I check, and double check, but I feel like everything is pretty much colored now. Oh, there was that stuff over there, but I don't know, I'll just think about that for a little bit. And I do think that for the next time, yeah, I am thinking Grumpy and the stuff on the now known as gurney part. It looks like a gurney. I'll go for it. Which, by the way, needs a little bit of ivory, I think. Well, it doesn't have an ideal point, but I just want to kind of unbrighten that little part. Alright. And I could have done those, well, that lime thing, roots. But I feel like I'm going to be needing that color anyways for like his shoes, for Mr. Grumpy. His shoes seem to be the same color, so. Yeah, I do believe next time Grumpy creates, and you know, if I do have time after that, I'll probably get into a base layer for, well, the steps and that little kind of part of background. But yeah, we are getting somewhere. It feels like we're closing in on some sort of finish line. There's just so much smudginess on there. It's ridiculous. I mean, I could use an eraser, but I don't know. I mean, I'll be coloring over it, so it should be good. I mean, I might have to start like the beard lines thingies, because of course that's going to be white. And considering I'm pretty sure that I'll be coloring him, I might as well get that started so that, you know, when we go into that next part, it's going to be all dry. I know I have said that I wasn't going to do too much with whiting out the lines, because, you know, in the previous one I just didn't like it. It just doesn't color as nice as it does on paper, which might just have everything to do with, well, I guess, my technique of piling color upon color upon color, and I just feel like I can't really do that on that white ink. I might need something different for that. I have been thinking about maybe using gouache, but alright, so his eyebrows are kind of okay. Do we have any other parts that really need whiting out? I mean, he doesn't have beard, so that's good. And, well, his beard, we're not there yet. That'll take forever. I'm kind of waiting for it to dry so I can do it one more time. We have a piece of paper underneath there anyways. But yeah, I'm also kind of thinking what next, you know. I do really feel like it might be Winnie the Pooh, because I may have mentioned it already, but that's actually the reason why I got this book. So I might just have to, because he's cute. Right, well, I guess then for now, that's about it. I'll just, you know, that'll dry nice for the next time. I mean, his beard too. I mean, it was kind of, we did do some light parts, but, you know, his beard is like gone, but it's still there. Which is kind of nice. It kind of became one with the rest of the beard, rather than being too white, like I had with the bridge. I mean, I did kind of work on that too, and it does look better. And for some reason, it's like, you know, that tree. It's actually editing where I was coloring the tree, and I don't know, it turned out pretty good. It's kind of like looking back on what I did, because, you know, I was doing the editing. I can still feel that frustration. But in the end, it's turning out so lovely. So next time, I'm thinking Grumpy and all of that, which is like, I don't know, I have no idea what that is. What's that round thing? It's like, they have a poster in there. Well, I don't have to know what it is to color it. It's a cylinder thing, so. And this is the fun, and I feel the fun and colorful part. So next time, Grumpy and that stuff, and I could just say that I want to do a lot more, but I feel like I might be getting over my head. I don't want to make too many big promises. Like, what are we going to work on? I feel like I sort of said that I was going to work on something entirely different than what I actually did today. I feel like I might have actually mentioned working on the steps. But, well, that will be the next part. I mean, either way, we're going to get the whole thing colored. I feel like I'm sort of going in a logical order. Normally I just color. I don't really care where. But I'll just let myself get distracted. But, oh, I'm going to color something over there. Oh, I'm going to color there. Ooh, and I'm just, normally I'm really all over. So this is good. Should I do that nose too? Just a little bit? Yeah, I feel like his face needs some work too. You look so grumpy. Wow, that was really bad, wasn't it? It's like I wasn't going to use too much of that white. Because again, you know, I really didn't like it the last time. Might be the pencils or my technique. No one seems to really be agreeing on what to use to white it out. I mean, I have this and it works, so it sort of works. I mean, there's so many ways. You know, some people love gel pens. I just don't. And the same goes for the Posca pens, although I do say I have used acrylic paint once, but that left a bit of a structure on the paper, so you could actually color over it, but it wasn't smooth. It was like a very, well, bumpy coloring experience, which sounds a bit weird, but so I feel like maybe gouache or something might work. But I mean, there's so many different brands too, so I guess if you try it with the wrong brand, that might be a problem too. So I mean, if you're using, because I think Pitt artist pens are available from multiple brands too, so it might just be that if you are using a different brand, that it's just not working, because it could be that different brands, they all kind of work different. So, you know, that's why I just said this is what I do, and maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. Just find whatever works for you. I mean, if you are coloring alone, you can just pause it. So if you're using some material that takes longer to dry, then, you know, just pause me and I'll wait. That's the magic of YouTube. I'm pretty sure that the next one I might actually be better at making it accessible for everyone. This is what I'm trying, but, you know, being sort of still new to that whole coloring thing myself, it's kind of like struggling how to do that, but oh well. I did put it in the description, you know, we will learn together. But for now, that is what we have. So, next time, Grumpy and all of the stuff. And if we have time after that, we're probably going to get into the steps and, well, I think it's like a little wall thingy background. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, we might get to it. It seems like it's actually the side of those steps. It's kind of like, well, I don't know, but whatever it is, if we have time for it the next time, we will color it. So for now, here comes the reminder to, you know, like, subscribe, comment, share, I don't know, just that whole YouTube stuffy thingy. Is there glitter on my page? How is there glitter on my page? Could someone just... Yeah, well, I'll find out in editing how that got there, or not. Well. So, yeah, I think for now, thank you very much for watching. Of course, I hope to see you for the next part, which is going to be part 16. I swear I can feel myself age while coloring this from time to time. For now, I guess, have a good one.